close one. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Yes, we certainly are, aren't we now? All righty then. Okay, I think we can get this back up there. All right, friends. Welcome to the Truth Quest. I am going to share this on out because I don't think anybody knows that we're here yet. Hello, Edward Taylor, you found us. Wow, first one here. Thank you very much for showing up. I appreciate it. I'm going to share this out. Please do the same if you have any other social media platforms that you like to share stuff on. And that would be just swell. That would be just swell. All righty then. Okay. Live. ... All right, that ought to get the message across. And I'm not playing music. I'm not going to play music until I get a better system for music set up here. So, you know. Hello. So there we go. We're watching it. Oh, I'm going to get the number 2. See, I'm liking my own video. Do they allow that? Apparently they do. I got the number 2. Oh, someone got number 3. Congratulations on the number 3 spot for whoever it is. That's your lucky number. Remember, when you like the Truth Quest, a video, any video, the number that you are on the views, that's your lucky number. Okay? That's, I don't think other channels offer that, lucky numbers. So there you go. How do you like that? I hope you enjoy that. So, well, it's Wednesday night. It's starting to feel like fall. I had to bring my avocado tree in today, actually last night, because it's starting to get a little bit cold out, and I don't think my avocado tree would survive. So someday I'll bring that tree down south somewhere, plant it, set it free into nature. For now, it's held captive. I grew it up from a pit, from an organic pit, organic avocado. So there you go. All righty, welcome everybody. I hope that you're all having a very pleasant evening. I got some things to show you tonight here. Wednesday night, you know what that means? I don't know. What does that mean, Operation Shutdown? Where is everybody? I don't know. There's nobody here. Just me, myself, and I. Where is everybody? They're waiting for us all to tell them about it. In fact, I'm going to go back to my old Facebook page here. I know that, you know, Facebook is, I know it is what it is, but that's what I got for now. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, it looks like we might have someone coming in to tell a little story. Let me send it on over there. Good friend of the program. So we're getting people over here, folks, one at a time, the old-fashioned way. Okay, I just sent the link. Hopefully we can get this person to call in and get all those pictures up, and that will be great. So let me see here. Yeah. Righty then. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Well, fall is definitely in the air. It's definitely feeling like fall out, friends. So there you have it. Fall is coming. Fall is coming. And nothing's going to stop it, right? That's right. Share to a page, to my Truth Quest page. Thank you very much. Okay. I guess I have to click it twice. And there you have it. Now we're out there. People out in the blogosphere will be able to know where we are, hopefully. And something's been happening lately, friends. Hello, Kelly George. Hello, Catherine Weiss. How you doing? You know what's really weird, friends, is lately, I don't know what happened, but I'm losing like a subscriber a day, almost a subscriber a day, steadily now for a couple of weeks. And I don't know if it's just, the algorithm of the company here that is suppressing certain platforms. I don't know if that's it, or if people are being unsubscribed and they don't know about it. So please, if you're subscribed, check your subscription, hit the bell so you get notifications. And then, if we all tell a friend about Truth Quest and they subscribe, then we can hit that next little milestone and start going the other direction instead of down. That would be great, because people need to hear about this. We need to get the word out. So thank you very much. I really appreciate everything that you guys do. Every like, every share. It's just an awesome, awesome thing. Big autumn breeze here in Texas today. Oh yeah, I bet that feels good in Texas. Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess in Texas, you guys did have to shovel the weather once. That wasn't so nice, was it? We have to do that here. Of course, our pipes are, they should have a uniform nationwide building code for pipes, because it could freeze anywhere, right? Yeah, that should be something that they do, I would think, because that would be the thing to do. Okay, I'm going to put the my name is D. LOL. It was 57 this morning, and people here are wearing coats. Oh no. Oh my. Yeah. Well, yeah. Texas. The thing about Texas too is they got the best toast. That Texas toast, I'm telling you. That's a big draw for a lot of people. People, why are you moving to Texas? Oh, the toast, of course. The biggest toast around, Texas toast. I think that's one of the things that Texas has going for them, and a lot of other things. But yeah, you're from Michigan, where we don't play unless it's 20 below out. I hear you. Yeah, I grew up in Minnesota, and I remember going to the bus stop one morning as a kid, and it was 52 below. And I remember I spit, and the spit froze and bounced on the pavement. Yeah. So they didn't call no snow day. No, the buses ran. Everybody, yeah, I couldn't believe it. There we are freezing out there like human popsicles, 52 below. Unbelievable. I can't believe we all survived. Amazing. Amazing. I did get frostbite when I delivered papers in my fingers. Oh, that's pain, and it makes you susceptible to cold the rest of your life. So it's a damaging thing. So protect yourself in the cold. Try not to get frostbite, because it's a horrible, horrible thing. Yeah, 52 below. Yeah. Yeah, it was horrific. And I was a paper boy, and neither rain nor sleet nor, I know that's the post office, but I lived that. Okay. I even delivered papers through the great storm of 75. And you can read about that, the great storm of 75. There I was. I couldn't use my cart Sunday morning. I had to use a sled because there was like 3 to 4 feet of snow on the street and no plows were coming for like all day. It was something else, or maybe half the day. Yeah, 1975. That was an amazing storm, let me tell you. Ooh, 52 below. You win. I've done 35 below to school. Yeah. Yeah, you delivered papers in 6 feet of snow too? Yeah. You gotta bring your snorkel with so you can keep breathing when you're delivering the papers because the snow's so high. Yeah, it's crazy. It's craziness. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. It's pretty darn crazy. Okay, I'm gonna put the call number in. If anyone wants to call in. Your dad made you an igloo maze in the front yard in Detroit. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. You know what? I taught daycare, and one time we went out, it was snowing out, and you go outside every day. And so one day we made a snowmobile. And so the kids could sit on the snowmobile and pretend to drive the snowmobile. Well, we ended up having to make, oh, Sandy Sue, thank you so much for that super chat. Thank you very much. Got my Meet the Grays t-shirt, love it. Thought it would be a great, would be interesting for you to share your inspiration about how you created it. Of course, knew right away the minute I saw it. Sure, yeah. Yes, I will do that. I will do that. Gosh, I was just telling a story. Now I forgot, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me get these pictures out that were sent by a listener. Is that Sandy Sue? Same person? Possibly. Okay. Let me find these here. Yeah, so, you know, when Teespring took down my stores, I had a couple stores on Teespring, they took them down. And so here it is. And so now I'm so excited that I have a new store. And, oops. Oh, it's not it. Where is it? Okay. There. Another one. All right. Okay. So yeah, let's do this. Yep. Same person. Oh, good. Well, thank you, Sandy Sue. Your secret identity is safe with me. It's not Batgirl, just saying. Okay, I hope I didn't blow your cover. All right, let's go back over here to do this. We're gonna do that crazy thing that all the kids are doing these days, that screen sharing. Yeah, screen sharing. So yeah, so I had to design some t-shirts for my new t-shirt shop. And so, oh, you know what? I wonder, let me check something here quick. Oh, good. There's just a number on it. All right. All right, here we go. Now, so, yeah, there's a famous Beatles album, Meet the Beatles. And so, you know, I wanted to do some aliens. And the actual original idea for this came from Andrew Bashago. And because, I'm doing some illustrations for him, and he was describing this, and I said, wow, that would be great, so it might be an illustration for the inside illustration for one of his upcoming books. It's a little bit different. It's different. The one I did for him is a little bit more detailed. And but so he gave me the permission to go ahead and put this one out. So there it is. It's the Beatles. So it's like, so the Beatles says, okay, meet the Beatles. This was their historic first album. The first album by England's phenomenal pop combo. All right. Meet the Greys, the first album by Andromeda's phenomenal pop combo. Okay. And here is the logo for Capitol Records. And right here is the logo for Celestial Records. There you go. How do you like that? So thank you very much, Sandy Sue. I really appreciate that super chat. It helps to keep the lights on. And yeah, if you want to help support the program, second convo about Sub-Zero stuff. That's good. Interesting. Much love, Questers. Hey, Dark Brain. Thank you for being here. Glad to see you. Oh, Space Shot. Space Shot's chat. Hello, anybody from Space Shot. Glad to see you here. If you're here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And so, yeah, I'm going to put my merch shop into the chat so that if you want to look at some of the designs there are several. I keep adding to it. I even have the love bugs on there now. The love bugs. There they are, the love bugs. So there you go. Yes, Operation Shutdown. Yes, Andy is the best. I just talked to him today. Wished him a belated happy birthday. It was his birthday on the 18th. And I invited him to call in on the show. So maybe he'll be calling in. We'll see. So thank you, Sandy Sue, for sending that along and showing everybody who might not know where the inspiration for that originally came from. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, so here's a close-up of that Beatles album. Oh, it's a little bit cut off. That's okay. But you see how their faces are half in the dark? And I made the sizes of the heads similar to this, so it has a very similar look. I tried to emulate it, as close as I could, but still be aliens, So there you go. A nod to the Fab Four. How do you like that? Formerly the Silver Beatles, for those of you who may know. And back when they were the Silver Beatles, of course, they had a different drummer, Pete Best. And he was he was getting really popular. He was a very handsome guy. And he was said to resemble a cross between James Dean and Elvis Presley. And at some other venues, you can still see, I think in Germany, in some of the early venues where the Silver Beatles played, people wrote on the wall, Pete Best and the Beatles. And so, yeah, if you're curious about that, look up the Pete Best story. He was a phenomenal drummer, but he was just too good looking, taking away too much attention from the rest of the band members, I believe. But they never told him. They just got Richard Starkey, Ringo Starr, to take the place of the handsome Pete Best. And but it kind of backfired on him because let's pick the most non-handsome guy we can find. But actually Ringo, he was very kind of different looking, but he was very popular. So it kind of backfired on them. They were trying to, I don't know. I think they might have, they should have probably maybe stuck with Pete Best. I thought he was a good drummer. I don't know. That's just me. So let's get on to, well, first let me check and see if anyone has called in. Nobody yet. Nobody has called in yet, but we're keeping an eye on it for when it happens. Okay. So. Oh, Ringo played drums in a video for my ghost-written hit, Tom Petty, I Won't Back Down, 1987. Oh, yeah, interesting. Paul McCartney. Yeah, you can't have a good-looking drummer in pop. Yeah, but, you know, I think Ringo Starr became just as famous as the rest of them, you know. But little, you know, a seldom known pop thing there. Also, you know, the Beatles. Hey, Mr. Dennis, I was reading your book. Oh my God, I don't know if I can finish that book now because it's getting. Yeah, I don't watch violent movies. I don't know. Maybe I'll still be able to get through it. Backbeat is what Ringo did. Yeah. Did you know that apparently, this is what I heard, and I don't know if this is true, that in the early Beatles albums, in the early Beatles songs, Ringo actually wasn't drumming. They had to use a studio drummer because they were trying to teach Ringo how to drum, but Ringo had his own kind of style, you know. But yeah, apparently he wasn't on the first few. Maybe they tried and he wasn't quite up to snuff yet. I don't know. But U2 with Larry. Okay. I guess I don't know the U2 drummer, I guess. So is the Beatles a Tavistock psyop? I don't know. Poor Ringo never gets any respect. Yeah, the Beatles. And the Beatles were wild, okay? You know, they visited Elvis once, the Beatles did, and they jammed together. In fact, Elvis had a bass guitar sitting out in anticipation of them coming. He picked up the bass and started playing it. And they were pretty blown away that Elvis was playing the bass. He had practiced. He wanted to impress Paul McCartney by being able to play the bass. And, you know, I really wish they would have recorded that, but nobody recorded it. Priscilla was there, but she just couldn't remember what songs they did. Come on, Priscilla, really? Couldn't remember. Couldn't just push the record button. No, didn't do it. Didn't do it. So maybe that's what we could do with the chronovisor or with one of these time travel mechanisms. Go back in time and record that. Wouldn't that be something? But that might change history. But you can't change history. That's right. Maybe you can. I don't know. Well, let's dig into some of these images that I discovered here. So check this out. We're going back to the moon, folks. So strap in, put your trays in the upright and locked position because we're taking off to the moon. Here we go. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. And look, we're already there. This is from my buddy over there at Secure Team 10. And this is a picture of the moon at just the right moment where you can, the light of the sun is reflecting off of a giant tower miles high on the moon. Now, these towers on the moon, now when the Russians discovered these, they told their people. But when the Americans discovered them, they didn't tell us. So, yeah, government by the people, for the people. We need to know this stuff. If there's a giant tower of some kind, what is it? Was it built by somebody? Is it a natural thing that just kind of, landed there from some other asteroid or something? We need to find out. I mean, why don't we go there and land something right next to that thing? Maybe we did. We probably did. We've probably done all this stuff, this secret space program. But that needs to all be released, and we need to know all this stuff. What do you folks think? What do you think about that? Does that surprise you? Do you wish they would have told us? 3 miles high. Born ready, yeah. Faux Paul. Yeah, could be a fake Paul. Nice. I play bass. That's pretty epic. Yeah, isn't that cool? There's so many things about Elvis nobody knows. 5G Death Tower. Could be. Could very well be. Yeah. Yeah, it's always fun when everyone in the neighborhood, everyone in the community just gathers around the base of the cell phone tower, and you can barbecue ribs there with no grill, just from the microwaves. Pretty fun. Can't stand too close to it though. So there you go. There's a big something on the moon there. What do you think that is? Yeah. There's so much on the moon. I mean, is that why we're not going back? Do you think? And then they do stuff like this. This is another picture from my buddy over there at Secure Team's channel. So look at this. All right, what do you suppose this is, huh? Well, some very talented people took this image, and through Photoshop tools, they could sort of see through this very bad masking. See, they didn't cover all of it. But this is what they do, folks. They when they find something on the moon, instead of telling us and advancing our society, they just cover it up and say, "Oh no, nothing there." That's very annoying. Very annoying. Not a nice thing to do. Not nice at all. And here, side by side, you can see there's that thing. And what was underneath that? It looks like a train. What, they teleported a train up there? What the heck is this? Is it some large spacecraft? Maybe a base? Something mechanical? It looks mechanical. It definitely looks mechanical. What is it? And why did they feel that they needed to cover it up? Let's check the chat and see what they say. See what you guys say. Different angle. Quarter mile, a 3 mile length, could be. They keep the power. The Mars masking is more stealthy. Oh yeah? Yeah, because they're getting better at it, right? Some of these old moon pictures now, you can go to old bookstores. Now, there's these old bookstores you can go into, and you can buy old books. If you buy old books like from the 70s that have pictures of the moon, a lot of those pictures that they published back then in books aren't around anymore. And they show things. You can find things in these pictures. So that's something that we all can check next time we're in a bookstore, a used bookstore. Go check out the old vintage moon books about images on the moon. So there you go. Very interesting. I find that one very intriguing. Oh my, it looks like we have a call. Where's my phone? Oh, there it is. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, it's Max.
Yep.
Maxwell Smart. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Well, thanks for calling in.
A little.
Go ahead.
A little tired because I just ate. But
Okay. I'm showing pictures of anomalies on the moon.
oh, cool.
And some were from Secure Team, and this one is from another video that I screenshotted. If I can find it here. I'll have to go back over here and check the show. So what's new in your world, Max?
Well, today, not a whole lot today. We're working on some other projects that I noticed that there's a few projects that mirror or very closely related to what David Wilcox is trying to do. So that was intriguing.
Interesting. Wow.
So I don't know. One project that he's supposedly investing in sounds identical to one of the ones that we're working on. So I'm intrigued at the moment.
Wow.
So not the anti-gravity project, but something related to the trash.
Trash.
Trying to improve there's supposed to be a place in Kentucky that is found a way to recycle 100% of their trash.
Oh, wow.
And I think they only produce a smaller amount. They're smaller locale, so I think they only produce like 100 tons a day or something.
Okay.
But it's still pretty impressive to be able to totally recycle.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
So I know people I'm involved with are currently in negotiations related to that.
Wow.
It seems to be the same place, so I don't know.
Interesting.
I made them aware of the fact that this YouTube personality is also doing something that sounds to be identical.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know yet anything more than that. But
okay. Well, it sounds exciting. You know, for those of you who don't know, Maxwell Smart is a scientist, an inventor. He's a problem solver, and he has developed and created lots of very interesting things. It takes a lot of brain power to make. So he's a very smart guy. In fact, you know I was a pretty smart guy too, because in high school, everyone always called me Smart, but they always got my first name wrong. They didn't say Smart Aaron. They called me Smart Alec for some reason. I don't know why. The picture we got up now is, I had to throw a little joke in there. It's a picture from the moon. The picture on the moon.
Are you a mushroom man?
I'm a what?
Are you a mushroom man?
A mushroom man?
Yeah, a fun guy.
A fun guy. There you go. Yeah, a fun guy to be around. Now, this picture on the moon is a very dramatic one. I hadn't seen it before today. It's a number of structures, very very man-made looking. You got almost like a, I don't know, sort of a pyramid building type structure with a round part to it and walls. It's just very strange looking. I don't know. And my name is D asks if, hey, Aaron, can you interview David Adair sometime? I would love to interview David Adair.
Yeah, he's got quite an interesting story. Yeah.
He's got an incredibly interesting story. He's got a lot of stories that he can't tell too. So, you know, at some point, maybe he will tell the parts that he can't tell. Because he can talk about the things that happened before. Hello, Abby. Before he worked for them and became an adult. But when he was 17, when he visited Area 51 and saw all the things he did, like that alien engine that was alive, part metal, part alive. He was not an adult yet, so he could write about that and talk about that. But everything after that, he can't talk about. So very curious about that.
Yeah, it's an amazing story, that's for sure.
Right.
There's lots of things I can't talk about, but they're nothing. They don't compare to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's an interesting. All those angular lines. I mean, I don't know. It looks like something to me, and they're pretty tall. It looks like an extremely tall structure. Almost looks like like an energy plant of some kind, like some kind of power plant. Hi, Abby. And it's good to see Dark Brain in there and everybody. Jerry, Mr. Dennison, Trapstar Angel. Hello there. Good to see you. And Ralph, my good buddy Ralph. I hope that you're doing well, Ralph. We're sending out prayers for you, healing energy to you. So, yes, the living dragon.
Is somebody sick or?
Yeah, Ralph had some stitches. He had some problems. So we're all wishing him well.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
We're wishing everybody well because, you know, every good day is a good day, you know. Every day that can be good is good. I saw my granddaughter today. So it was a good day for me.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
Yeah. So my son came over. He goes, "Hey, Dad, how you doing?" Well, pretty good. He goes, "You home?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Well, I thought I'd come over. I got Hazel. Where are you?" "I'm just turning onto your road now." "Okay, come on over." Yeah. So that's what he does. No problem. No gag order.
Tell him is this the one that you can tell him you have some dogs for him?
Well, yeah. He's apparently found someone for one of the dogs, and he's going to take the other dog over to where he's living now. So hopefully that works out before snow falls, because that's the deadline.
Yeah, I know you like dogs, but at the same time, it's not your responsibility to take care of somebody else's dog.
Right, right. And, you know, they're border collies. There's a male and a female. One's short hair, one's the long hair. And the female long hair, my son was teaching her to, I guess this is a trick that you can do with border collies, to teach them to jump up in your arms, right?
Oh,
wow. But she doesn't really jump up in your arms. She jumps at you, and she usually lands in a place where it's very unpleasant. So it's like I might need to wear a cup taking care of these dogs, because it keeps happening, and it's not good. It's not good. It's
unpleasant after a while.
It's not a good thing. So maybe I'll show up one of the pictures. I got a couple pictures of my granddaughter today. Anybody want to see those?
I'm sure they do.
Let's see. All right. Yeah, Hazel. Good old Hazel. Yeah, she's 2. So perfect age. Everything's groovy when you're 2, right? 2 and 3. Those are like the glory years of being a kid, right? Everything's fun, everything's funny. So yeah, that's what that is. So let's.
I don't know. That's not my memory. My memory is you get the terrible 2s, but
Oh yeah, terrible 2s. Well,
which straightens out by the time there's 3 or.
There she is.
We don't go through these phases.
She's got her pair of sunglasses there that she left here, and she always goes over to him and says, my sunglasses, yeah, you want to take them? And she always leaves them here. Maybe she took them this time, I don't know. And behind her, you can see, where's one of the ducks my mom carved? I think I showed this on the show the other day. My mom carves these wooden ducks. They're just beautiful. So that's Hazel. That's my granddaughter. Crazy Hazy. And here they are leaving. That's my son and Hazel saying goodbye. Had a nice little visit and just love seeing that little kid. She's groovy like a record. Yeah, she's the best.
Wow, cool.
Hazel is an epic name. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So there's second picture. All righty then. Let me see. What?
Did Kelly ever figure out how to call in?
Let me check.
Kelly was trying to call in.
I'm checking the chat right now. No one's called in yet, and I haven't heard if we've been able to. Yes, Hazel. Okay. Hello. Okay, a little message for the people who use the Zoom. Oh, there's my merch shop again. Again, if you want to help the program, that's a great way to do it. Thank you, Sandy Sue, for the super chat. That was awesome. Very nice. Thank you, Abby. She looks ancient. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, she's like the cutest kid. I know. I can't believe it. She's like the cutest. Oh, she's still trying. Kelly's still trying. So I'll keep an eye over here. Just downloaded phone app. Oh, good. Okay. Take your time, Kelly. We're going to be here. Don't worry. Yeah.
Well, I got a call from a friend here in Florida, and he said that his whole family's recently had the Delta variant.
Oh, really?
And they all pretty sick, but they've all come out of it pretty much. It's after day 24.
No, who are these people that got it?
Friends. I don't know most of his family, but I know some of them.
Okay.
And one person in their family got the jab and died within 2 days of a blood clot.
Okay.
And then they know of some other friends of friends that had the same thing happen.
Right. Well,
so apparently it's one of the dangers.
Yeah.
One of the dangers. So.
Right. It's also a danger on this platform to talk about too. For now.
But I'm trying not to use any of the buzzwords.
Right.
So.
Right.
But they.
Yeah.
something that they're concerned about. They're obviously don't intend to get something like that because of they actually know people. He said they know about 5 people or so that all died of blood clots.
Mm-hmm. That's what my dad died of too.
So,
my dad died of that
and
too.
I think it seems like it's kind of strange that there's that many stories that they can point to in their own lives.
Mm-hmm.
So they're concerned about, whether we're being told everything we need to be told.
Well,
I expressed today to them. I thought that it's what if there are some there are some microorganisms, let's say, that use that word instead of the V word, that have the ability to alter the expression of
mm-hmm.
genetic information that's present in another microorganism.
Yeah.
And so what if these 2 microorganisms are designed to work in tandem, so that if somebody got a jab, they later, the genetic information that they received from that jab could be expressed when another microorganism came along later. So they could create a perfect storm where you get everybody to get a jab, and those people are the ones that are going to suffer from a later microorganism.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't be more specific than that without saying words that I don't want to say.
Right. Ralph just expressed that he's going to get his next week. I would strongly urge you to reconsider, Ralph. Strongly urge you to reconsider. 99.97% chance of survival. No need for something that could harm you. And it's just a mild thing. I mean, Red Pill got over it. He took that popular thing that people are talking about, starts with an I, and the second letter is V. I'm not going to say what the rest of it is.
Right.
Ends with the sound tin.
Don't you think it's interesting that all these refugees that came over,
mm-hmm. They don't have to.
Our government gave them all the same thing, which is what you're just talking about?
Yes. That's what we're giving in El Salvador too. Yeah.
But they won't take care of anybody coming into the country from the south?
No, because those are the people that are going to replace us after we're all depopulated.
So you wonder what is the...
That's what they're doing.
Different.
They want to replace us. They want to replace everybody. So don't let them replace you. Stay natural. Believe in yourself. I mean, that's why I invented the Invisimask. Because
it reminds me of the invasion of the body snatchers.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
That movie?
It does. It totally does.
That's pretty. That was a scary movie, actually.
Oh yeah.
That was a great movie. I liked it, especially the more recent one. I liked.
Mm-hmm. So here is. Let me see. Where is it? All right, here we go. Oh, and next time we do a show, friends, on Friday, I might have a new streaming software, so we might have music and everything. So here's that.
Cool.
Here's that invention that I could have made millions on, but instead I teleported one to everyone's face. It's the Invisimask. It protects you. You already have it on. You're totally protected, all right? It works with your immune system. It doesn't inhibit your breathing at all. It's totally invisible. And when people ask you where your mask is, you can say, ha ha ha, I've got the Invisimask on. Yes, the state-of-the-art nanoparticle Invisimask. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And then
Well,
smile.
maybe you can develop. Sounds like you need to invent another kind of puzzle that takes less than 3 to 6 years.
Yeah, right. That's right. So that's the Invisimask, friends. So you don't have to run out and get it. You already got it. It's underneath the mask that you have on. So you take it off. You don't need to wear it anymore. You got the Invisimask. We biolocated every face and we teleport it right onto your face. It self-cleans. You never need to take it off. It doesn't pull on your ears. That's another thing. I think these masks, they must be connected to ear surgeons, because I think there's going to be a lot of people with the, folded forward ears. They're going to have the, the Alfred E. Newman ear syndrome, where they're sticking out. It's going to do a lot of things. It's going to affect the times of the runners, right? They're going to be catching all that air now. But yeah, there you go. The Invisimask. It's for humanity. How do you like that?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. My name is Dee. Awesome. My niece and I are going as invisible for Halloween this year. All right. Good idea.
Going as what?
Going as invisible.
Cool.
That's cool.
That's a good trick.
Wonder how you do that.
Yeah.
Okay, and Austin says a similar idea appears in the Tools for Freedom catalog. They offer a mask that does not interfere with breathing and serves no medical purpose whatsoever. Okay.
Well, I have a new T-shirt idea.
Oh yeah, what's that?
And anybody wants to do this, they are free to do it.
Okay.
It was Awaken the Woke.
Yeah. All right. The woke. That's good.
Awaken the Woke.
Awaken the woke. I like that. It's got a good ring to it. Yeah. Yeah. Just because they're woke doesn't mean they can't awaken.
Well, there's this whole, when the Great Awakening was started or created, they wanted to create their alternative to the Great Awakening, so they called themselves woke, just to kind of steal our story. Well, seems like we need to awaken the woke.
Yeah.
So there's certain, obviously, it doesn't offend anybody. Only certain people would get it, what it means.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. RP got through it. Red Pill 78 got through it. He had the thing, and he got a doctor. He's putting the information together for people to get this stuff, through a doctor over the internet. So look up redpill78news.com and go over there. I think, and Dark Brain can put that link there. He's going to have the information up to get that stuff so you can stay healthy. And if your hospital won't, because the hospitals are being told not to give this life-saving, very, very safe treatment. So yeah, get your own and keep it yourself. And you can use it as a prophylactic too.
Well, there's another thing that was said to help people.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be careful how I say this. There's something you can get that helps you sleep at night. They call it melatonin.
Yeah.
Apparently, it not only helps you sleep better, but it gives you're 30% less likely to contract one of these microorganisms.
Okay.
And of course, nobody knows exactly how it works, but it's even possible but just by getting a good night's sleep, that your immune system is more able to fight off.
That's melatonin. Melatonin.
Yeah.
I bet it works. I bet it even works better when you're listening to mellow tones.
You know what melatonin is, right?
Sure. It's like
sleep hormone. Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
So, and get sunlight. Vitamin D has also been shown to be a good preventative.
Yeah, sunlight. Be out in the sun and be barefoot on the ground, but you can't do that in 52 below weather. That can't
No,
work.
not a good idea.
Yeah. So I think people in the chat are all up to snuff on this stuff. They're all giving Ralph some advice. Hopefully,
we care, Ralph.
If God meant us to have all those toxins in our body, we would have been born with them already in our body. So that's the way I look at it. And, you shouldn't do things to yourself that is not in nature. Like, you can't run through the woods and get these toxic chemicals, brush up against a branch, scuffs your skin. You might get a little bit of plant matter in there, but you're not going to get, aluminum and all kinds of mercury and all kinds of other junk like that. And now the other kind of things they put in there, which are very dangerous and scary. Yeah, I really think that we're going to look back at this time in history, and it's going to be seeming like barbaric, what we're doing here with these treatments. They used to do bloodletting, right? It used to be something that they did. Oh, your arm hurts. Let's let some blood out. Oops, we let too much blood out. He's dead. Well, they don't do bloodletting anymore, but they used to do it. Well, they're doing something right now that I hope that when the truth really comes out in the mainstream media, when the whole public can see exactly what's really, really happening, I think there's going to be a massive awakening, and this treatment is going to go by the wayside of bloodletting. It's not going to be allowed anymore because it just doesn't work. Never has it. Never will.
The biggest thing we need to inoculate ourselves against is fear.
Yes. False evidence appearing real. Yes, fear.
Because that's the real thing being pushed.
You have nothing to fear but fear itself. Yes. I remember when we first had the mask mandate here, I remember going to Walmart and I had a mask in my pocket and I almost put it on. I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna. I didn't. And I never put one on ever since then. And I don't even own one. So it was fear that made me almost do it. But then I said, you know what? I'm not gonna give in to this. I want to be able to breathe.
See, they know if they can instill fear in us, then we'll do things that we shouldn't do. They'd like to take this to another level in which they can take more freedoms away.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way they can do that is if we react.
Mm-hmm.
If we all went out and they could stage something and then have the reason to take away other freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the bad people would like to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't go along with it, if we don't react in fear, we basically stop their plans.
Mm-hmm.
And enough people basically that work on themselves, that work on forgiveness of themselves and work on forgiving others and
Mm-hmm.
work on being a better person. We do all those things. They're doomed.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it. The tide is turning very slowly. It's starting to turn.
Yep.
Very slowly. We watch. It's going to eventually start picking up in speed, and all of a sudden, all of a sudden we'll have decertification, and we'll have all kinds of things coming forward. I think the vast majority of the people that are going to wake up have already awakened.
Yeah,
including a lot of Democrats.
Oh yeah, no,
and they don't want to say, like anybody else, they don't want to say anything because they don't want to be part of this cancel culture. So they're just being quiet. They're waiting for things to happen themselves. And as soon as the right things start to happen, you'll see people start saying, "Yes, we agree." You know, and then it'll be very obvious. You know, we've been told by the mainstream over and over again that, you know, everybody agrees with them. Well, that's not true. That's a bunch of malarkey.
To quote Biden,
and
malarkey.
They'd like us to believe that, right?
Yeah.
You know, some of the stuff you can see some of the stuff when Chiden had his meeting with the United Nations. The Secretary General of the United Nations basically said, you know, we can't look to the United States anymore, you know, because, you know, look what happened, what you did in Afghanistan. No, we can't trust you, you know? No, I think that's all intentional. That's the bad people trying to, if they want a global socialist state, right? Only way they can do that is bring down the strong countries in the world, right? So by making us look weak, you know, we'll fit in with that that new system. So this is all intentional, but don't panic because of it. Remember, God is in control. The Patriots are in control, and when the time comes, the military is in control.
Yeah.
Remember the last post.
Durham. Yep. And Durham's starting to kick it up now.
Yep. Exactly.
So
if things start really, I think you'll start getting another one, or probably these are probably the low hanging fruit. Guess we'll get ready until the bigger things. And remember, it's probably not even Durham probably has to have little to do with anything that rises to the level of treason, because that's done by a military court of justice. These are just the lesser crimes, you know? I mean, he probably transfers information to a military court or tribunal, things that he learns, of course, but that's probably not the prime purpose of what he's doing. So that begs the question: where does the military tribunals get their prime information? I'm sure some of it's from Durham, some from other sources. Fortunately, it's a little easier to determine when somebody's done something that is a crime against the country. You know.
I'm gonna show a little meme. This is a meme I made, probably over a year ago.
I'd have to guess that Durham revelation the other day probably created some ripples in the black hats.
Yeah.
I can imagine there's a number of people quite worried, you know, because they thought this was kind of gone away, right? And they're like, oh.
So this is a meme I did with Queppy. I did some videos with this puppet that I made, Queppy. He's like Pepe's cousin or something. So it's Queppy, and then the title is "Fake News Killed Thousands. Trump was right. HCQ cures the blank. TDS is deadly. Trump derangement syndrome." There you go.
Yeah.
There's the meme of the day. It's an old one, but it's still apropos. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I like to think of I looked this up. As of last year, there were 7.83 billion people on the planet. And I like to consider, we're all like a piece in a giant jigsaw puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons that I love to hear more people come forward on your channels, because we need to hear the thoughts of a lot of other people, because they have a piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
For us to put this puzzle together, we need to know what your piece of the puzzle is all about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody out there in this audience probably has something very important,
of course,
to share with,
mm-hmm. Yes,
their
definitely.
fellow human beings.
Definitely.
So I thought about it, when you're putting together a puzzle, there's all kinds of techniques that people have
mm-hmm.
for doing that. Some people concentrate on putting the edge pieces all together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what is the puzzle? What if a lot of people, of course, look at the picture when they're putting together the puzzle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look at the color of the pieces and say, okay, I'm going to start over this area because all the yellow in the puzzles over here on this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have people focusing on putting together pieces because of a particular color, and others will find a particular strange shape in there, and they try to find pieces to have that in it. But we have the difficulty right now is we don't know what the picture looks like. That's the piece of the puzzle that I can provide.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. All of the stuff that's going on is designed to go on. It's happening for a reason. It's having the purpose of just awakening us all, even the bad stuff. And don't worry, it's like David Wilcock said, it's like a movie about the hero's journey, right? Where
mm-hmm.
the classic storyline for most movies. In the beginning, you learn about the hero and all that, and the hero's doing well, and in the second part of the movie, all of a sudden the hero's confronted and seems to be overcome by the evil in the story,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like the hero's beaten down, and there's no chance for the hero to come back, right? And then finally, toward the end of the story, all of a sudden, the hero's found a way, and the hero comes back and defeats evil, and
mm-hmm.
And that's what we're living.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about ready to see the hero come back, and that hero is a number of things, right? Lots of symbolism. It's us, right? It's freedom. It's our great president Donald Trump. All these things are going to come roaring back, and we just have to wait for it. We're still in the second act. The little things will start happening. You can start to see the little things happening. I say,
mm-hmm.
okay, there's something happening here, right?
Yeah.
And the movie's looking a little less negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to build until all of a sudden there's a crescendo, and
mm-hmm.
and then we're going to get the world we've always dreamed of.
Okay. I just got to say what we're looking at here, I've been playing with. It's that ship on the far side of the moon. It's another picture. It's got a different number. There's several pictures that were taken by NASA. You can't find any of them anymore, but this is another one of them from one of those videos I saw today. Very incredible. Now I'm going to check the chat because I think, yes, we got Kelly George, and here she comes. Hello, Kelly. Let us know when, say something so we can know that you're here. Yeah. Austin mentions that Elena Dannon, the psychic who is on Exopolitics website, has recently stated that the current labor shortage is due to many skilled people being recruited for the lunar bases and colonies. I don't know, these channelers, I don't know.
It's hard to know what to think about all these things, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really listen to channelers too much because number one, there's no way to verify it. Number two, who are they getting the messages from if they are getting messages? There's no way to know. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what to say about
it's
that.
Interesting stories.
Yeah.
Interesting stories. It's fun. It's entertaining, but you can't say much more than that.
Yeah. And some of it might be true. Who knows? But
right.
For me, I'm a nuts and bolts kind of a guy. I like to know, things like that. So I don't know. Let's see if Kelly George is connected to her audio yet. Are you there yet? Yes, to start video. Maybe she doesn't want to do video. Say something, Kelly. I can't hear you. You're on here. So down in the left-hand side, you want to mute your stream. So if you're listening to YouTube, hit the mute on the YouTube stream and just watch through the Zoom for now. So I'm asking you to start your video. Now, it looks like you need to turn on your microphone. So
unmute the
when you hover, here we go. Hello? I see some movement. Looks like we're getting closer, folks. This is exciting. All right. Looks like extreme close-up, or else it's the ceiling. I'm not sure. There it is. There she is. Hello. Say something.
Probably delay.
Hello. So yeah, she hasn't got her microphone hooked up. So if you're on a desktop, hover your mouse, your cursor over the viewing area on Zoom, and you'll see on the bottom, there'll be like a little microphone with a line through it. Click on that, and click, yeah, you already got the video going. So look, we're a little bit closer, aren't we? All right. Still waiting. Well, let us know by saying something as soon as you can, so we can see if we can hear you. Of course, you don't have your, there's nothing I can do on this side. Your microphone isn't even showing up. So I don't know how you're going to be able to turn on your microphone. It might be something in the Zoom app about using the microphone, or maybe you need earphones. I don't think you need earphones. I don't know. I'm not sure if you're doing it from a phone. I wouldn't know. I don't do hardly anything with my phone except talk on it.
She's probably got a PC too, so that might.
Well, I think she has a phone. I think she has a phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Austin says Corey Good and Elena Dannon directly contradict each other. They can't both be right. Yes, I know that, and I saw Dr. Michael Sala is siding with Elena. I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. But anyway, whatever.
Well, he's presenting a lot of stuff that he says it's true, but there's little evidence to support it. Like, okay, so this lady has a implant inside her head. She's getting this information from. Can we see evidence of an implant, for example?
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of proof that, anybody can say, well, I've got an implant in my head and I'm getting this information. So,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm left with this, again, the situation. I say, well, it's an interesting story, but that's all I can make of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Right.
Kelly George is saying, you may have to set microphone. Oh, Dark Brain is telling, you might have to set the microphone to device mic by clicking on it. And that might be it. And she has a Galaxy tablet, is what she's on. Okay. All right. Well, we're working through it. No worries. We'll get there. So Austin is saying that Elena's looks might be why Dr. Michael Sala is siding with her. I don't know. I think she has a best-selling book out, and congratulations to her on that. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't. I tried listening to her a couple times, and I don't know.
I enjoy listening. I'll be honest. I enjoy listening to it.
Really?
It's a great story. It's a great story.
She's got like an accent, right? She's got kind of like an accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just when it comes down to it, I can't believe any of it.
Right.
Because to me, there's no meat.
Okay. Austin says Austin thinks that she's an agent of disinformation. Could be. Discredit Corey. Yeah.
It could be.
I can't believe Dr. Michael Sala would do that, after he wrote all those books with Corey's content,
Well, he seems to have gotten to the point where he accepts anything he wants to accept as evidence. And
yeah.
Where in the past he used to be known for really digging into a story and finding real evidence. And
yeah.
Okay, if he's found such evidence, he's not doing a good job of conveying that.
Right.
So
yeah, something's up there. Yeah.
I try to be respectful. That I don't know.
I'm glad that she's doing so well. I don't take anything away from her from that. And I know a lot of people believe her, and that's fine. People can believe whatever they want, but I'm just not believing it for now. I'm on the fence, as it were. I'm searching for more information. Okay, I'm checking Kelly George again. Looks like there's still no microphone showing. Okay, so just so you know, Kelly, I think what Dark Brain said about what was it? Do you X out to find the mic? I don't know about that. The only tablet I have is the iPad, and I'm hardly ever on it. Hardly ever. Same here, Aaron. Couple times, that was it, Abby says. Are you talking about listening to Elena Dannon? Well, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from her. It's just me personally. And people are free to believe whatever they want. I mean,
yeah,
it's just that I can't.
I honestly have the same issue with Corey Good. I don't say he's wrong because I don't know. But to me, I haven't yet seen enough evidence to convince me.
Mm-hmm.
However, I find his story very, very compelling. I'm riveted by it, actually.
Yeah.
So I listen because I want to hear more.
Sure.
And I do understand that some of these stories, maybe it's not possible to give you information you can prove. I mean, I understand that too.
Okay.
Trust me, I've told people some things that I say have happened, and quite frankly, who would believe it? You know,
right. Me too, for sure.
that I know is true. So, you know, given you're in the same kind of, a little bit, I'm in the same boat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I not believe, or at least how can I not extend the same courtesy to somebody else
Mm-hmm.
that I'm asking them to extend to me?
Dark Brain, this might help. I'm looking at Kelly George in the queue here, and she just has the icon for the camera, not the microphone. There's not even an icon there. So for some reason it's turned off. So it was, you know, maybe that's the feature for mimes, right? No sound. Yeah, there's so much disinfo. Right. So much disinfo. Hard to know what's legit. You know, I do like to have evidence. However, I do believe Corey's story. I did check his information out in just some of the ways I could do it. One of the ways is over time, because he said early on, years ago, that we're going through an area of space. It's a more energetic area of space, and all the planets are going to change, and it's going to change our behavior too. We're going to see end time madness, people going crazy, riots in the streets. When he said this, I'm thinking, oh yeah, right. I've heard this before. It's never going to happen. It happened. So, you know, that the other thing that made me think that he was telling the truth was he was talking about, he was on this base once in the secret space program, and he was meeting with these people there, and there was, it was a very lit up area, but he couldn't see any light fixtures anywhere. And he asked the people there, he actually telepathically was going to ask, and they answered before he could ask it verbally. You know, how are you getting your lights? What's your source of lights here? And they said, we get all of our light from sound waves. We create our light using sound waves. Then I did a search. This was a couple of years ago. And there was a little company that was working on creating light using sound waves. So there you go. And they're just at the very beginning of it. But now if the secret space program is way ahead of us, they're going to be way ahead in everything. So that was my, you know, little way of sort of kind of verifying his story. And it was good enough for me.
Well, I did see one thing that at least supports what he was saying.
Okay.
I saw.
Hey, Jake.
You know, he describes the pad that one of the pads that he uses.
Oh, the smart glass pad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, he's not the only one talked about that. Emery
Smith.
Emery Smith also talks about that pad. Well, I ran across a document of a real life pad like that that's here.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can find the information, I'll be happy to share it. I've got it. I do have it saved on the computer somewhere.
Okay.
But when I saw it, I said, "Oh my God, that's the pad that they're describing."
Wow.
So there is evidence of a pad that fits that description.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Of course, it's not out there where we can buy it yet, or else we all know about it. So.
Wow.
Maybe someone else will run across that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where it was I was looking at the time when I found it. But it's one of those things, you find it and then later you said, "Boy, I wish I would have shared that immediately." You know?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because you go back looking for it, and you're like, "I know I got this, so where is it?"
Mm-hmm.
So. And that happens quite often. I'm sure a lot of people in the audience can relate to that phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
You find something really cool, you want to share it, and you say, "I'll share that tomorrow," and then you've saved it, and You go to look for it, you can't find it anywhere.
Right.
Occasionally discovers because you've actually saved it in a different folder you didn't think you were saving to. You know, I've had that happen. So I now pay more attention when I'm saving it. Well, which folder is it saving it to? So
Yeah.
Still having trouble, huh?
Yeah, she's having trouble. I still don't see the icon for the microphone. She's in the queue, and she turned off her camera, but without sound.
You have to click. Do you have to click on her name in the queue, or?
Yeah, I did. She's in.
Oh, okay.
She's here. I mean, if she turned on her camera and somehow figured out how to turn on her microphone, she'd be able to talk. But it's not happening yet. And so there we go. So Abby says -48 said he slept in Tesla's quarters night before last. Okay. Hey, Terry Hopper, there he is. If any fights break out, Terry's going to be the ref, all right?
I got an interesting story to tell.
Okay, what's that?
And I'll let you decide what it means. But in 1985, toward the latter end of the year, I met both Obama and Trump. Okay, now.
What year?
1985.
85. Okay.
And at that time, I had no idea who Obama was. Okay.
Right.
I'll explain how I found out. I was went to a job interview in Chicago, and it was I can't remember the exact time. I'd have to go back and look at the receipts and whatever to figure out exactly the date. But it was on about it's October, I guess, mid-October, either mid-October or mid-November of 1985. I was in Chicago. I was dressed up, of course, in a suit and tie, and just had an interview, important interview for me, and I met a couple other people who were also there for interviewing. And this one guy said, "Well, I'm going to be around. I'm done with my interviews. You know, what are you doing? Let's go hang out somewhere. Let's go someplace." And the guy had given the presentation. And I said, "Okay." I said, I've got to, where I was parked was quite a few blocks south of the city. So I took the subway to get into the city. Okay. I didn't want to park in the city.
All right.
And so I said, as long as I get back in time for the last subway train, otherwise I'm stuck in Chicago. I said, okay. I said, when are you going to be back? I said, well, I got to be back about midnight. You know, that's when the last subway leaves to downtown. I said, okay. And he says, well, what do you got in mind? I said, well, you know, maybe we get together, go for supper. And I heard of this interesting party out north of here. You know, somebody told me about it. I said, we'll go out there. He says, well, as long as, like I said, as long as it's not too late, I'll go with you. Well, we went out to eat and went to a lot of great places in downtown Chicago. There's, I don't know if everybody's heard of Gino's East Pizza Place. It's kind of a famous place where famous people have carved their names into the tables.
Oh yeah, I think I've been there. Yeah.
And when you get a pepperoni pizza, it's a slab of pepperoni over the entire pizza. Not individual pieces of pepperoni.
Right.
And so it's really a unique place to go. So, and there's all kinds of pictures of celebrities that have been in there or whatever. But so I went there, and then then I left and went. I was supposed to meet some other friends in another place, so I did that. I told him I'd meet up with him about 10 o'clock or something. So I did that. He said, "Okay, let's go out to this party." I said, "Okay." So we got a cab, went straight north out of downtown Michigan Avenue of Chicago, and we get out to this little place, and the cab drops us off to make sure the address is correct. And I said, "Yep." And the cab takes off, and we, this is back in the day before cell phones, right? So, you know, we hoped that we're going to be able to find a phone at least, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to get the cab to just stay there and wait, and he wasn't inclined to do that, you know.
Okay.
He'd wait for about a minute, and then he said, "I got to leave, and I got another call."
Sure.
So anyway, so we knock on this door. Door opens. It's about a 30-foot long room, and it's about 15 feet deep. And when you open the door, you can see a stairway going up, and this whole room is just packed with people. And most of them are kind of average height, but there's one guy that towered above the others.
Okay.
And we see a guy comes to the door. The guy came to the door and says, "Can you help me?" He says, "Well, we're told there's a party here, and all were welcome, and you know, so that's why we're here." And he said, "Well," and he made his way to this guy, the tall guy in the middle of the room, and the guy looked up, kind of looked our direction, and then he makes his way through the crowd over to us. And of course, this is Obama.
Okay.
And he comes to the door and says, "Gentlemen, can I help you?" He says, "Well, we heard about this party, so they said it was open to anybody, especially if they're dressed up, you know, nicely."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Well, gentlemen, you know, this is a party by invitation only." He says, "I'm going to have to ask you to leave." He says, "Well, could you let us use a phone so we can call a cab, or could you call a cab for us?" He says, "No, I can't do that."
Mm-hmm.
And then right at that time, I said, "We have no way of calling the cab." I said, "We really need your help." So, "Well, I can't help you." And at the time, I was going to say, a voice in my head told me to say, and I didn't say it, said, "One day your name will be synonymous with treason."
Oh, really?
That's what the voice in my head said to say. And another part of that voice said, "Don't say it," you know?
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, I told the guy after that I was with, after he closed the door on us,
Mm-hmm.
and we were trying to figure out what are we going to do. We're at nighttime, dressed up in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
in
Wow.
a difficult part of town, and we're going to have to walk back to the city.
Wow.
And the best estimate is that we were 2, maybe 3 miles north of the city.
Okay.
So I said, we can't separate. You know, we stick together and act like we belong there, and maybe we'll be fine. But we have no choice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I told him what the voice in my head had said, and it was only later that I knew exactly who it was, because his face was buried in my memory.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, we got downtown and get back. It takes quite a while to walk that couple miles, and it's
Mm-hmm.
in Chicago that time of year. It's pretty cold.
Sure.
It's quite chilly, but fortunately moving kept us warm.
Mm-hmm.
I get downtown just in time to get to the subway and leave. And that's my first and only time I've met Obama. Well,
Okay.
now I got more specifics for when I met Trump. On December 30th, 1985, we stopped. We were on our way to New York City to go to Times Square to watch the ball drop.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 or 3 friends and I had gone there, and we stopped at Atlantic City because one of my friends had family there. We stopped at their house and said hello, and I got to they got to visit for an hour or so. And then we decided before we left Atlantic City to head toward where we're staying in New York City, that we'd stop at the Trump Casino and check it out. Well, we got there and we briefly just went inside, looked around just literally for 5 minutes or so, and then they saw that we weren't playing in the machines or whatever, and they kind of shoot us out, you know.
Okay.
And we decided, well, it's a beautiful evening there, and the warm breeze coming off the ocean. We decided that there's a boardwalk to the south of the casino, and we walked in this boardwalk, and it was still kind of, you know, it was, I'm going to say it was 6 in the evening. It was still fairly light. You could see the boardwalk.
Okay.
And we walked on this boardwalk, and about a quarter mile down on this boardwalk, there's this little building off to the right side. And the building's only 20 foot by 20 foot, you know, size, and it's only sitting about 20 feet off of the boardwalk. So I wonder what that building is. And nobody knew, of course, and there's a big bay window on the left side and a single metal door on the right side. And we kept walking down the boardwalk, and we went at least another quarter mile, just very slow, enjoying the conversation and enjoying the beautiful breeze coming off the ocean. And well, it got toward the end and started to get dark, and we didn't have to go to the end of the boardwalk. We said it's just getting dark enough. We figured we better turn around, or we won't be able to see to stay on the boardwalk. We're afraid of walking off the edge, you know. And so we turn around and start walking back, and I'm kind of ahead of everybody, just I don't know, 10 foot ahead of them. And we get down to where that the little building was, and I see there's a light on. So I'm curious, and I go. I stay on the boardwalk, and I look in that window, and I see there's a bunch of people in there, and I see Donald Trump and Marla Maples. Wow! And they're both in wedding garb. And it's a voice came into my head, and they were still catching up with me. And I went up to that door. I opened the door, gave a thumbs up with my right hand, and yelled, 17. Cool. And I saw him nod. Now I don't know if he was nodding at me or somebody else. And there were a bunch of people turned around when they heard the door open. There's probably 20 or 30 people in that room. Okay. And he was getting wedding pictures, basically. Wow. Okay, and I closed the door. I turned around, and my friend said, "What the heck was 17? What is that?" I said, "Honestly, I don't know. I got up there, and something in my head said, you got to say this." Cool. And so they all know that I said this. That's awesome. And of course, there are people in that room with Trump that knew I said this. So there are witnesses to this actually occurring. And that was in 1985. Yep. That was way before any drops. So there you go. Before any what? Any drops. Yep. Way before any drops. Wow. And I had no idea, at that time, I had no idea why I said that, other than a voice in my head told me to do it. And I know for an instant there, I was confused as whether it was saying 17 or 19. Okay. But then it said 17, and that's what I did. And that's wild. That is so cool. I'd love to hear, I'd love to be able to talk to somebody who was actually in that room and heard me say it. Like Trump. Yeah, like Trump. Well, we invite Trump to call in at any time. You may call in anytime you want using Zoom and talk about that. Did you ever make it to the to Times Square? Yep. Okay. Made it to Times Square. I got a picture of Times. I don't want to out myself, but there's something significant to happen to us in Times Square. Okay. Well, one of my friends kissed Dick Clark. I'd love to hear, friend. I'd love to hear from somebody
Well,
Hello?
you call in anytime you want using Zoom. Something's going on here. Hold on a second. Did you ever make it to the? Wait a minute. I think it's Kelly. George. Okay, turn off the mute the stream in the background. That's where that was coming from.
If I get to have of those where
Okay.
Well, one of my
Kelly, just maybe I should mute you. No, I don't want to mute you.
No, let her mute in the background.
So
it probably takes a second for it to get to her.
Okay, I think she figured it out. Did you mute the stream in the background, the YouTube stream?
Yes, everything's muted. Do you hear me?
I can hear you. You made it. Hey, everybody, round of applause. She did it. She did it. Amazing. See, anything's possible here on the Truth Quest, right?
Yeah. It turns out I had to turn the microphone on in the Zoom chat.
Yeah.
I've been trying to go through Chrome app and all these other places because I Googled it, but it was in the Zoom app.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Well, now you know how to do it. So, did you have any more revelations about that orb?
Any more revelations about what?
The orb?
Yeah, I wrote a lot in that email to you, but my old computer just kept erasing what I was writing, so I just got frustrated and sent it. Yeah, the orb, like I said, it showed up out of nowhere. It was in my face. I don't know what woke me up or whatever. I don't hear you anymore.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
I'm listening.
It wasn't aggressive, and it had like a like the electric blue, like what's behind you.
Okay.
Like me, that shade of blue almost, except a little lighter. But it wasn't enough light to light up a room.
Okay.
Like when I hovered over my sister, it just lit up some of her hair and her cheek. When I said don't hurt her, it went back to being between us.
Okay.
And then headed toward our dresser. And it's like it looked at itself in the mirror for a moment. And then it just ducked underneath the dresser.
Wow.
But it didn't emit that blue light anymore. It just stayed like a silvery, shimmery ball that spins.
Oh, it wasn't blue after it went under the dresser.
It was blue, but all of a sudden it's like it shut that light off.
Wow. Interesting.
Like a ball bearing that was spinning, but it also had like a pattern in it.
It had a pattern in it.
Like it had mercury all over it as it spun.
Hey, what? I didn't catch that.
It's like it had mercury on it. Like it was spinning around the ball as it spun.
All right.
Movement on the ball itself.
Wow.
Did you have the sense of that it was trying to tell you something, or it needed something from you?
I wonder if it was somebody that came to visit me, because when we first moved in that house on my very first day, I was about 4 years old, and my mom told me I could go upstairs and pick out which bed I want. And I walked in the bedroom, and there was a little boy standing there. He was about my age, probably about 4 or 5. And he was dressed in like a little boy blue almost. He had old-fashioned shoes with like a long tongue that went up the front of his foot, white stockings, short pants that went just below his knee real tight, a blue jacket that was down to his wrist, a white shirt with a black string.
Wow.
He had brown hair, and he had a bit of an accent. I asked him what his name was, and it was like a 3-syllable name, but I can't remember the name. But it was an odd name, like something I've never heard about before, like almost like Ichabod, but that wasn't the name that I know.
Okay.
Ingersoll?
And then,
Ingersoll?
no, I can't remember the name, but it was a really strange name.
Okay.
And then he said, I'm looking for my, no, he said, I'm waiting for my mother. And I'm like, well, where's your mom? Because I thought if he has his mom, she should be downstairs with my mom because she's making sandwiches for everybody. And he goes, I came here, I think it's because he was sick. And he said, I'm still waiting for my mom. I think he died in the house.
Oh, wow.
So I'm wondering if the blue has something to do with the blue color of that silver ball.
Mm.
I wonder if it was there for protection or it was him coming back to say hello. I
Wow.
only seen him 3 times, and every time I saw him, he's there. I'm waiting for my mother.
You saw him 3 times?
Yeah, I saw him 3 times.
Like over a long period of time or a short period of time?
We had a huge closet, and he would just come out of the closet.
But I mean, did it happen one day and then like a week later and then a week later, or is it spread out
Yeah, it
for
was over a long
years?
period.
Pardon?
It was over a long period of time, like a year or 2.
Okay, okay. Wow, interesting. That's really interesting.
And the reason why I
It
wasn't,
wasn't just a portal in the closet.
no, seriously, I think there was because my sister walked in that closet one day, and she went missing for hours.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Did you look in the closet?
Yeah, it's hard to describe this closet. It was the original closet to the house was a little teeny tiny closet, like a broom closet.
Hmm.
You could put a coat hanger in there. So what my dad did was he built a large closet over the old closet. So you could
Okay.
walk into the one closet and turn to the right, and there's the original closet.
Okay.
Okay, so one day I'm picking up the room and everything because we kind of like it looked like we played 52 card pickup. Are y'all familiar with the game?
52 pickup. Yep. Yep. You fluff them
Yeah.
up and you
Is
pick
it,
them up.
Yeah, it was a
is
mess.
it easier what the city was?
I'm sorry, what?
He wants to know what city it was.
Dayton, Ohio area, Preble County, West Elkton, West Elkton, and the house was built pre-Civil War
Oh, wow.
and under the Great Ohio Flood, which entirely covered the house. One of the neighbors that survived that flood told me about it.
Wow.
But anyway, my sister walks in the closet and I'm picking up stuff. And the last thing I heard her say was something about the closet.
Mhm.
And I saw her out of the corner of my eye go in the closet. I'm picking stuff up. And then I ask her something and I can't find her. And I looked through the clothes and everything, still can't find her. So I went and got my mom and I said, I can't find Shelly. So we took everything out of that closet and we still could not find her. And my mom was losing her mind. We're about to call the police and everything. Like I said, this is a couple hours. And
Wow.
all of a sudden, my sister just walks right out of the closet. Like
Wow.
nothing happened.
Was this before you saw the orb or after?
I believe it was before. Because I sometimes thought that maybe that orb had gone back into the closet or gone into the closet because I never saw where it originated. So I did wonder if it went to the closet.
Interesting.
But another reason why I wasn't afraid to approach the orb was 2 times before I saw the orb when I was about 4 years old. I was asleep and I would hear my mom screaming, Kelly, come here. Come here. I need help. Come here.
Whoa.
She sounded really distressed. And I ran to their bedroom door, and I banged on it. My mom comes out, and I hadn't noticed anything else wrong. But when my mom and my stepdad come out, they're like, the house is on fire because
Wow.
the rooms were filling with smoke really, really bad.
Wow.
So my parents made us all get out to the front of the house on the sidewalk while my dad, I know you're not supposed to do this. He went to investigate because we didn't see the fire. But it turned out it was our coal furnace had the flue block.
Oh,
He went down there and he fixed that. And the same exact thing happened again, but this time we didn't go running to the sidewalks.
right.
Had your mom been calling to you or not?
I'm sorry, what?
Had your mom been calling to you? You said.
It wasn't my mom calling. It took on my mother's voice.
Oh, it took your mother's
Right.
voice. Oh, wow.
That's what I was wondering, whether your mom, when you went to the door, was your mom actually calling to you, or someone just trying to alert you the fact that something was wrong?
Everyone was sound asleep, and it sounded like her in really bad distress. And it's like, why is she calling me? Because I have other older brothers, that
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice anything until my stepdad said, there's smoke, house is on fire.
Wow.
Thank God it wasn't.
Yeah. Wow.
And that happened to me a third time, but it was a different scenario. I was laying in a different bedroom downstairs because I was really sick and I had a really bad earache.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm totally deaf in my right ear. So I'm laying on my left ear on a heating pad.
Okay.
This time it took like an androgynous voice. I didn't recognize it. It kept saying, Kelly, wake up. And I said, Kelly, look. And so I finally opened my eyes and my heating pad was on fire.
Oh my God.
I got the fire out. This house would wake me up.
Wow.
It definitely, I think those things, it sounds like those things might all be somehow related. I mean, either those things are all very related, or you're very, or you're very psychically gifted, or both. Because it seems like it's unlikely that all these things would happen unless they were somehow connected.
Well, I did see a lot of premonitions and things that came true, and I asked God to take that away from me because some of the things were just too much to know ahead of time. Because you can't change it, no matter what.
Right. You saw things happen before they happened.
Yes.
Yeah, I had that experience all my life. I had this experience where I see something and then it would happen, and I was very confused by it. I told family about it, and they kind of look at me strange, but
My mom was that way too. The house we moved from, that was in Camden, Ohio. It used to be a doctor's home, and it was also haunted. But whatever was in that house was evil. It would push me down the steps every chance it got.
Oh my God.
And we had a graveyard as part of our front yard, and I wonder if I might have upset somebody playing out in the yard with my Barbies on the headstone or something.
Oh wow.
No, this was a different house, right?
Yeah, different house.
Okay.
What?
He was asking if it was a different house. I said, yeah, it was a different house.
Yeah, this house was in Camden, and it was pure evil. Pure evil.
Wow.
It's very interesting. So I wondered if I figured there had to be much more to the story. I think that some of these things are related. It sounds like you definitely got a psychic gift of some kind.
The one of the most mean things that the ghost did in our new house, the one where what kept waking me up if something was wrong, is I always told my mom, whatever's in this house, it wants everyone to be good and positive, because it seems to me like things start moving around and everything if you get a little negative. So one day, my mom and her friend and I were sitting at the end of our dining room table, and I was telling my mom that my stepmother just got her kitchen renovated, new cabinets and everything. And my mom was trying to do that, but it wasn't getting done as quick as she'd like. And my mom made the comment, I hope all those cabinets just come off the walls. As soon as those words left her mouth, our cabinets started coming off the walls.
Wow.
It had been 12 years, and all of a sudden they just started peeling off, and we just run in there and we're holding the cabinets back and trying to get all the dishes out.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, Mom, see, I told you. That was a horrible thing to say.
Wow. That's
No, this is
incredible.
from the first house.
This was from the house, the second house.
Okay, that one near the graveyard.
No, this one wasn't near the graveyard. I was just saying that whatever was in this house wanted everyone to be positive. And when my mom said something so negative, it
Oh,
showed her she was wishing on somebody
okay.
to
Wow.
give it back to her.
Interesting.
Instead, I won't say anything negative in this house again.
Well, remember, our intentions have power.
Mm-hmm.
They really do have power.
Yep.
In the old house, the one that I said was
That's
evil
fascinating.
to me, the one with the graveyard, there
Yeah.
was one that we had a really bad thunderstorm, and it was just mom and us kids. She had 6 kids.
Wow.
She had a stool underneath one of those great big telephones, and you could hear it through the house when you dial it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those heavy rotary dials.
Oh
Sure.
yeah,
Well, one she
rotary
heard,
dial. Yeah.
she thought she heard a knock at the kitchen door, and she checked on it, and she didn't see anybody there. But she thought she heard somebody say something like, help me. But she didn't see anybody. So she went back into, I guess, her living room or whatever. And while she's sitting there, she started hearing our phone dial.
Mm.
And she went back into the kitchen. And there's a World War II Zippo lighter on that step.
Whoa.
A trail of rain coming from the locked door all the way to that step. And
Wow.
like, there's no way somebody could have got in there that fast and dialed that phone.
Whoa. That's pretty
I
freaky.
had a strange experience today, and I haven't had anything like this for a long time. I was sitting in a chair, I fell asleep in the chair for a nap, and then I woke. I had a TV on in the background, and I woke up to hearing voices sound like they're whispering in the room. And where I'm at, there's nobody living here but me. So I'm like, I didn't open my eyes. First, I just tried to listen to hear what was being said, and I really couldn't make out too much what's said. But every once in a while, you could hear the whispering over the sound of the television.
I would hear that in our house in West Elkton. I was a sick kid, so I didn't go to school a lot. And I lived in that house alone a lot of times, and I would hear whispering and talking, and people going up and down the steps, and the door opening and shutting.
Wow. Wow. That's freaky.
I got up and tried to look around and try to figure out what's going on, and I didn't find anything, or
Yeah, I would even walk outside around the house, and I didn't see anything. We had a huge yard, and for somebody to whisper like that, they would have to be pretty loud. And a lot of times I wouldn't have the TV on at all because there's nothing that I was interested in.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So to hear that whispering, I know how you feel. Sometimes I just laugh.
Of course, now they have these psychotronic weapons that they can. I think if they were trying to aim some kind of psychotronic weapon at me, they at least would have let me hear what they were whispering. But I couldn't make out anything. I mean, I thought I could hear a word here and there, but not clear enough. I could know exactly what's being said. I thought at one point it says, "I think he hears us," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I heard that phrase. And I tried to listen harder, and the more it seems like the harder I tried to listen, the less successful I was at actually hearing something. So
whisper lower and lower, especially when you start walking around trying to find them. You think they're in one room, and then all of a sudden they're in another.
Mm.
I don't know. It's interesting. I kind of sensed that somehow I figured that when you told that orc story, there has to be much more to this story because it just, for that to happen for as long as it happened, seems like there's something either that orb was trying to communicate to you or wanted you to communicate to it.
I tried everything. Food and water. I tried opening the window to ask him, "Do you want to fly away?"
Hmm.
I tried talking to it. I tried reading the Bible to it. I tried
Wow.
sitting next to it. It just would never react. It looked like it would go dark, like it's blinking its eye for a moment, but then it would go back to that spinning thing.
Wow. That's
I wish
freaky.
I had had a pet at the time to see what my pet would react like, you know.
Mm-hmm. And you never tried to take a picture of it or anything like that. Of course, you were just a kid.
I never thought of that. And I didn't have a camera either.
Right.
Yeah, cameras everywhere. I don't think we had anything like it. I think we had a Polaroid.
Have you ever ridden a horse or been around a horse?
Yes. We had a pony named Buttermilk, and I used to help take care of a couple of friends' horses.
Did the horse ever look at you strange, like his eyes get big or anything?
No, but I've been bucked by him and bit by him.
Been bucked by him?
One of them was horribly abused. It was a circus horse, so that one was hard to deal with.
Mm.
One night I wanted to spend the night in the loft, and the horses didn't like us being there.
Okay.
Every horse that I've ever been around has looked at me and acts like I'm terrified. Its eyes would get gigantic. I don't know, like it's like I said once, at least once, I said, "Why do you look at me like that?" You know.
Well, what was in your mind?
Right.
I think horses can read your mind. What was?
I didn't have evil thoughts or anything. I mean, I don't understand what the horse was afraid of, but the horse was, almost every horse that I've ever met looked at me, his eyes would get, it seemed like its eyes got 1.5 times bigger than normal. It's like, just like staring at me, and I was petrified. And a few times I've ridden a horse in my life, the horse has always tried to run me under a tree branch.
Ours would try to run me along the fence. I know how you feel.
So once I was on a trail, 9 or 10 miles off the trail, and the horse, I was with a friend, it was her horse, and the horse basically wanted me off, you know. And of course, I didn't want to be on top of a horse that didn't want me on it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I got off the horse and I walked 9 miles back, and the horse, whatever I tried to get near, the horse was just like, get away from me.
Wow.
So I don't know what that's about. That's why I ask these questions, trying to figure out what is it about me.
I wonder if it sees auras. Auras I've never seen before. I've met people that they see colors from people, but I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those mysteries I'm trying to figure out in my life. And a few dogs do this too. Not many, but a few dogs. There'll be 3 dogs in a family, right? And they're all children. It's at the same mother. And 2 of them will be friendly and walk up immediately and want to be petted. The 3rd one will just sit off at a distance and bark at me.
Oh.
And it's like I never could figure out what's going on there either. And I have found out that the remedy for a dog that's a little afraid of you,
Yeah.
carry a little bag of cooked bacon with you, and they'll be your friend in no time at all.
We had
Eat the bacon on the ground and let them eat it. And after they eat it, they'll just say, "Yeah, I kind of like that." And so before you know it, they'll be rubbing up against you, wanting you to give them more bacon.
Aw, that's sweet. We had a German Shepherd that for some reason it singled me out and it loved me, and I was terrified of it because I was a little tiny kid, and this dog was my size. And whenever we lay down on the floor on our stomachs to watch TV like Batman, it would lay across me and it would put its nose where I've been having a lot of surgeries. It's like it was trying to keep me warm. It was just loving on me, but I just started screaming, get him off, because I was terrified of him, but he was a good dog. It's like I didn't like that he liked me so much.
No? You probably couldn't help it.
I loved him, but I was just afraid.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I had a friend who had a dog that was mostly wolf, and nobody could get near the dog, and the dog let me near it. I could feed the dog. I could go up to the dog 5 feet away and put the food right in front of the dog, no problem. The only problem I had, if you didn't back up watching the dog the whole way, and he had on a chain, the dog was like a 50-foot chain, and I kid you not, at one time I was about 10 feet from the end, right? Figured it's safe to turn around. I turned around, and the dog was right on top of me.
Oh.
The wolf, basically. It's a heavy chain. I don't know how it could move without making that chain make noise. But it did. And when I turned around, that wolf was 3 feet from me. And there was an old man that used to come up, and same thing, the old man get along fine with the wolf until he turned around, and that wolf actually bit him on the ankle and drew blood. But it was only some people couldn't do that much. They could, if you stepped in a circle, it would attack, and for some reason it wouldn't attack me. But
That's good.
if I turned around, you had to be watching it. If you were watching it, you kind of knew you were boss, I guess, and didn't do anything bad. You turned around, I guess it thought, you couldn't do anything anymore or something. I don't know. It was strange.
It is weird. It didn't make a sound with that chain.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't figure out. I thought for sure I would be able to tell if it's coming toward me, right? Because that chain is one of those really heavy duty chains. You can't move that thing without making noise. But somehow it did. I'll tell you, after that experience, I never turned my back to it. You know, I always walked backwards away from it until I was past the, its reach.
It's funny you say that because I had a little white Bashan Bolognese, and it would not allow men to walk away from me. They had to back away from me. I'm like, don't turn around. My dog will attack you. I don't know if he was trained to do that because we got him as a rescue.
Mm. Wow. Interesting.
I have one more thing that happened. Well, I've had plenty of things that happened. One more thing that scared me that I can't figure out that happened in the second good house. I was on a lot of heavy medications. And like I said, my mom's cabinetry wasn't done yet. And if you were sitting in our living room, it was almost like, what do they call that? Like a shotgun straight through the dining room to the kitchen. And you can see through the small, it's just regular sized door for the kitchen. It wasn't, open or anything. Well, one day, right in the middle of the afternoon, I'm sitting there and I see these black hooded, robed figures walking from the left to the right. And beyond them, I could see they were going from the right to the left, like they were walking in a circle. And they had the robes and hoods. I didn't see faces or hands, no sound. And I'm sitting there in my dad's chair looking at the kitchen, and I'm thinking, I'm seeing some things. I think it is our curtains just blowing back and forth, and it's making shadows. And that's what I'm going to make myself feel better with, okay? But then when I looked down at my dog and I saw that he was afraid and he was watching it back and forth, it's like, oh, okay, if he sees it, then it's not my medication. But again, I just got up and I walked into the kitchen. As soon as I walked halfway across the dining room, all of a sudden they're walking in a circle stopped. That was the first and last time I've ever seen them. Of course, I prayed.
It just disappeared, right?
Huh?
It just disappeared when you got halfway across the dining room?
Right, and they were just gone.
Yeah.
And later on, I saw this movie called Phantasma, and it looked similar to everything that I'd seen. It's like, okay, if they're putting this in a movie, then somebody else has seen what I've seen.
Yeah.
And the Ghost Hunters have also had similar stuff like that. There was a scene in the pool table. It's like, that's exactly what I've seen. What are these things? And they didn't care if I said anything. It's like they weren't, it's like they were on another plane, just walking in a circle.
Yeah, I have a theory about this. I don't know if it's true or not, of course, but that, we all, especially in this time, we're gaining abilities that we didn't realize we had. And you probably have the ability that you could see these things and still keep your peace of mind, right? You don't. You can handle seeing these things, and that's why you have that ability at this time, because other people couldn't see that without getting absolutely terrified.
Oh, I was terrified, but I was going to afford it anyway. I wasn't going to let it be in my kitchen. My dog didn't come with me, and he's usually right on my heels. He's like, no, I'm staying in the chair.
But I know a lot of people wouldn't even get up to do that, right? Because they'd be so terrified they wouldn't be able to do that. But you were going to go see what it was, so.
And it disappeared. let's put it this way. Most of these people that have had terrible things happen to them, like scratches and everything, they're
Mhm.
still here to talk about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True.
Well, that's all pretty interesting. Thanks for sharing all that. I knew there had to be similar to the story. There had to be, I don't know what it all means, of course. It's probably like you don't know what it all means either. But maybe you will sometime, or maybe you'll be able to put pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly if you do that, we'd love to hear it when you start putting pieces together like that.
Well, the last visitation I've had was here in my own house that I have right now.
Yeah.
This is scary. This house is not haunted. You can just feel whether it's haunted or not. This house is not haunted. I was laying in bed and all of a sudden something saying my name, saying Kelly, and it started whispering, "You have cancer." And it just kept whispering over that. I was like, I got out of bed and left. I could feel it hovering over me. I could feel its evilness or whatever.
Hmm.
And I don't have cancer, not yet, but I'll probably get it. But
Trying to tell you, trying to convince you had it or something.
it was such an evil way to do it. I was just like, "You have cancer," whispering. It's like that scared me.
You're trying to put it in your mind, like trying to get you accept it, maybe.
Wow. Interesting. Wow. And I'm so glad you got your phone working. That's great. So next time you can call in easier if you need to. That's great.
Thank you for allowing me to, and I appreciate the time you gave me to tell my experiences. Some of them. I really appreciate it.
No problem. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed every minute of it.
Mr. Scott.
Kelly, if it comes true and you find out you get that word begins with a C, then make sure you contact Aaron, because I've had many types and got over it, and I'm happy to share what I've learned, and happy to share what I've learned, and that goes for anybody actually out that's listening. I can't obviously talk about it on YouTube, but I'm happy to share what I've learned. So
I got really sick for a while, but I don't have it and I'm fine. And I did not have any special treatment for it.
You mentioned you were having some difficulties. Are you willing to share some of what that was?
For almost a year, I could not hold hardly any food down.
Mm.
All day, I would just throw up.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden,
do you have any pain associated with that?
I'm sorry, what?
Was there any pain associated with that?
Yeah, I had some pain in my belly, my lower right side.
Mm.
But it wasn't excruciating. What started making me throw up is I had a hard time breathing. I can't get doctors to understand this. So,
okay, I actually understand that. I have friends that I've told, and they had a hard time believing me. I had a situation in which I take a few steps and I be in pain, like my legs in pain, and all of a sudden I had to throw up and urinate and defecate all at the same time.
wow.
And I didn't understand what that was all about. And it's about 95% gone now. And it was related to cancer, believe it or not. And my conclusion, and this is not a scientific, this is a conclusion based upon my circumstances, not necessarily scientific. Okay, that it's from what I have read. If you get a cancer in the motor cortex part of your brain,
Hmm.
It can cause something similar to that. Now, do I know that? No. I'm not telling you I know that. Okay. So, but
Wow.
is that, you still have that problem?
Not nearly as bad. I've gained some weight. I mean, I lost like 40 pounds in just a couple weeks, and without trying.
Has
I
it gone
did
away,
have
or anything?
I'm sorry, what?
Has it gone away?
Not totally, but I'm able to keep my weight up. I
Okay.
feel like I'm perfectly fine now, except for my usual pain things I've had since I was a kid.
Well, Aaron's got your contact information, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got his.
I might
Sure.
pass along a couple things to Aaron.
All right. All right.
So,
Let's do that.
so I don't want to say about anything like that on here.
Right. Right. So
But,
I'll be emailing you, Kelly, okay? At some
Okay.
point. We'll look for an email. And we'll get
so
that out to
that
you.
offers out to anybody out there that's suffering from something.
Hmm.
I'm not saying I have answers to anything. That's one of the things I have to put out there. I don't have answers for anything, but
Mhm.
I do have useful information
Mhm.
for a lot of different things.
Okay.
So, lupus, all kinds of things. So many things. So,
All right.
Well, it's great to meet you, and it's great to finally speak to you, Aaron. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for being a trooper and keeping on trying until you got it figured out. That was great.
I'm
I knew
sorry
you-
I'm so
I knew you
bad.
would. I knew you would do it. I knew it was going to happen today. Something about today.
well, she called in once before, I think, didn't she?
No, she tried to before and couldn't
Oh, okay.
get it to work. This time she did. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, good night. God bless everyone.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.
All right.
See, we need a lot more people calling in like that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't be afraid, people. You know.
Thanks, Kelly. That was great. What I want to do now is I want to show you another picture of the moon. It's from the moon. It's from one of those videos I saw today. And it's a picture of the moon. And oh boy, hold on a second. See, I think I might get StreamYard or else Restream. It'll be a lot easier for doing things like this because I got too much stuff on my desktop. I have to have things open on my desktop to be able to screen share them. Okay, there we go. So you can see you're looking down on the moon and there's a crater there, a black crater, and it looks like there's something inside of it, right? Do you see that? It looks like there's something inside of it. Okay, now I'm going to show you a picture of, they actually adjusted the settings on that picture, and they zoomed in and they adjusted the picture. And so I think this is the right one. It's so hard to tell. These pictures are so small. And of course, now I can't see it either. I need to delete some of these. Okay.
I just realized the garage is starting to get cool.
All right.
Oh,
here it is. Okay, so when you look at this, it looks like a city, or I don't know, man. It looks like maybe the side of a cylindrical UFO or something. But man, and I'm going to do some little adjustment here too. I'm going to raise up the light and see what else we can pop out of there. And this is inside that crater, folks. This is what's inside the crater. This is what they're keeping from us, folks. Look at this. This is something. It's not nothing. it's something. And okay, that's not helping much. Sharpen. That doesn't do much. Color, no color in it. Yeah, it's something else. Let me check the chat and see if anyone's saying anything. No. Yeah, it's very bizarre. It looks like either a large ship or some kind of building with lights on it, windows or something. It just looks like something. It's definitely not nothing. It's not like a photographic anomaly, like something happened in the black dark room or something. That's not what happened. A terraced subdivision could be. Low-income housing, Luna City, yeah. Yeah, they're probably using sound wave generated lights on that thing. I guess that's the way they're all doing it out there. So it's interesting how you can get light from sound. I think sound is, there's something really important about sound that I don't think we totally understand yet. And I've heard it said that your individual voice is tuned specifically to your body. And so when you tell different parts of your body to get better, they get better because your voice is telling your body to fix itself. I think there's something to that. The power of your voice and the vibrations that it sends, I think it's part of our self-healing, that we can heal ourselves with it, possibly.
Well, when I had the stomach pain, I was in pain, and at the time I had a bleeding ulcer.
Oh boy!
And it was very bad. It would literally fill my stomach up with blood.
Oh God!
And the thing is, I had to do everything I could to keep it from coming up, right?
Oh.
And it was excruciating pain. The best way I could describe it is excruciating. And I found that if I take a deep breath and then I go and go up and down with my pitch of my voice like this, I kept doing that over and over again. And each time I did that, the pain would subside.
Okay.
It was just like melt away.
Mm-hmm.
And do I have an understanding of why? I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because your voice has power. Your voice has power, and even the chanting, like of monks, they found that can heal bodies, can heal people. So your vocal power is something that is virtually unexplored here. So.
Right. I think there's truth in there what we don't know. I think that's probably what we're about to learn, that's been kept from us. All these medical technologies, they use sound or light to
frequencies.
Heal us.
Yeah, they're both frequencies. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I'm sure of it. We're going to learn some fantastic things. And folks, we don't have to go very long before this starts to happen. Just stay calm for a little bit longer. Try to enjoy life as much as you can. Try to concentrate on being the best you can be. And if you've done somebody wrong, try to make it right. They may not accept. Whatever you have to say, but that's not what matters. What matters is you try.
Right. Yeah.
I've seen this happen. I've had some friends that were battling, the big C word, right? And
yeah.
And one of the things I'd seen over and over again, when these people would reach out to someone they had wronged and try to make it better, they suddenly see a surge in their health.
Of course, yeah. It's doing the inner work. That's the stuff that you hear about, but you don't hear the specifics of it. But you just mentioned some of the specifics, so
Yeah.
that's great.
It does happen. I've seen it a number of times. I've actually, there's one family I know that I've witnessed 3 separate miracles. I don't know if I told you those stories or not, but they would let me tell you them. So I won't give out their names or whatever, but I had a family I was going to see all the time. They'd invite me for the holidays, for Thanksgiving. And of course, I'd bring food and we'd have a great time. And usually it's at their house in the country. And this one time I came over and I brought, such things with me and said, I hope you don't mind. We're going to go spend time with family this Thanksgiving. And of course you're invited. And it says, well, why would I mind? It says, why have you been going to the family these other years? So we've gotten together. It says, well, they're not believers, so we've kind of shied away from them. I said, now, you know that's not the good reason for shying away from them. So you can be an example just by being there. And he said, yeah, I know, but my older brother didn't want to go, and then I didn't want to go because of that, and whatever. I said, well, what changed your mind this year? He says, well, my brother found out he has cancer of the brain, and they told him that he just the procedure to determine whether or not it was operable had a 70% chance of killing him. So they said, get your affairs together, because you could die. You could easily die, and just try and find a treatment for you. And so because of that, he decided to reach out to his family and spend Thanksgiving with them that he hadn't done in 20 years, because he basically knew that he might die. So when my friend told me this, I said to her, I said, I don't know how I know this, but your brother's cancer is just going to go away. Can't you see it? He says he wouldn't go to see family because and this is God's way of bringing him back to family, and you wouldn't go because he didn't go, and so now you're both going. I said, something inside me tells me that this cancer is just going to melt away. And she looked at me and says, God, I hope you're right. And I said, I don't know, but this is a case. I know this is going to come true. I know it as if, as sure as I can see my fingers on my hand, And of course, what happened is we went to the gathering. It was a great gathering. All the family went together for the first time in 20 years. He told the story. He told them what was supposed to happen. The next day, after Thanksgiving, he was supposed to go in to have the procedure done. And the day came, and he went. They had to do a pre-procedure. It's like a pre-MRI, align some kind of instrument that they're using. And when they did this pre-MRI, they discovered the tumor is gone. Nothing left. No cancer.
Awesome.
No tumor.
Awesome.
And of course, when my friend heard it, she said, "You did something." I said, "No, I didn't do something. It wasn't me. I just could see it. The voice in my head said this is going to happen." And I've seen this experience many times when people do the things to reach out to family, especially family, right? If you got a problem with your family and there's one of these bad diseases running around your family, try to encourage those people that have the problem to reach out and remedy some situation that might exist between them and some other family member. Because more times than not, I have seen incredible miracles happen when that takes place. Now, the other miracle of having the same family, and you'll get to see the consistency in some of this, right? This woman's daughter got pregnant, and they're going for the test on the baby, and discover that the baby has get this, a brain tumor. And the doctor says there's no chance the baby won't survive. Doubtful the baby will survive to term, basically. And they said they're recommending an abortion. And she says, well, I don't want an abortion. I don't want to get an abortion, And the mother weighs in and says, you can't have an abortion. Of course, the mother, her father was a ordained minister. And I told her, I said, now listen, you've told her all that. Now just tell her that you love her and you'll support whatever decision she has to make. This is a tough decision, You told her what you need to tell her and then let her deal with herself. Well, she decided, of course, to have the child. Well, it was about, I don't know, a month later, she went in for a test again. She decided to have a child. And the tumor was gone.
Good.
Of course, the doctor didn't know how to explain that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, the baby was ultimately born, but had all kinds of problems when it was born. It seemed to be in continual pain. In fact, the woman's mother, my friend, had to go over there and spend time all the time just to take care of the child so they could sleep.
Mm-hmm.
The child barely got any sleep. The pain. So they kept going to specialist after specialist to find out what was wrong with the child.
Mm-hmm.
And most specialists, no answer. Finally, they got an answer. They went to the specialist, and the specialist determined that this child, we normally have 23 sets of chromosomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
The child only had 22.
Okay.
Missing a whole set of chromosomes. And the doctor had seen this and said, there's absolutely no chance this baby will survive. It says, we've never seen this before, okay? In the history of mankind, we've never seen this before. No chance this child's going to survive. Well, yeah, of course, they're not one to believe those things. They said, I don't know how, but this child will be the one that survives,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, over the course of the next year, and it's still going on, that child's DNA is rewriting itself.
Wow.
They've never seen anything like this. They're totally mesmerized by what's going on. They know what they're witnessing is the hand of God at work.
Mm-hmm.
And that child's DNA is rewriting itself. That's a very special child.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And the child has a few developmental issues right now while this is going on. The child looks like the child has a little bit of, what's that?
Autism.
It has a little bit of autistic behavior, and the child isn't growing the same as other children, but the child is very alert. It's almost as if the child knows more than you can fathom,
Mm-hmm.
but can't express it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's the impression you get when you're around the child. That the child is very alert, seems to understand, but can't express it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
I think that will change. I think this child is
Sure.
something extremely important in this world, and I don't know how, but
Yeah. Well,
but that's a miracle that I've seen.
that's awesome. That is awesome. I put a picture up here and I did some adjustments on it and things. It's the famous moon spire picture. Have you seen that, Max, on the moon?
Oh yeah,
It's like
it's like 5 miles tall or something.
yeah, it's very big and there's like a ball on top of it or something. Yeah, it's very strange. So that's the moon spire, if anyone's wondering what that was.
Maybe that's where Superman lives. The Daily Planet. It's got the planet on top.
Could be.
I'm just kidding.
All righty then. Well, let me see here. There's
I'm sure there's other people out there that have in the future. I hope you come forward and tell us or your stories and miracles you might have observed and the thoughts you might have. You know, all of it's important.
Yeah.
Especially during this time. This is a time we need to reach out to look within and also reach out to others. You know.
So you were at Times Square that time. I got a picture of Timex in Times Square. Maybe that's where I can go as Timex and figure out what happened to you at Times Square in 1985. I'll have to travel back in time with my time suits.
It wasn't 1885. It was 1985.
That's what I said. I said 1985.
Oh.
But you know,
yeah, maybe lightning strikes.
Well, something's weird because
Great Scott.
many people have misheard me say the word 19 and they think it's 18. That happens so often. I can't even believe it, but maybe it's just the way I say 19. It just sounds like 18, but I'm definitely saying 19. But people hear it as 18. It's really weird. And I've always really been curious about that. Well, now that I got it recorded, I'm going to play it back and I'll be able to hear it and see if I'm actually saying, if it sounds that way to me or not. So that's Timex. That's the comic I'm working on for the movie. That's one of the frames for the comic. And well, Max, I think we had a pretty good show. We had Kelly call in, you called in, and now we're coming up just shy of 3 hours. I want to try to keep these shows shorter, much shorter than they've been, because it's just a lot of complications happen when it gets too long. So I want to thank everyone who came by today to the Truth Quest here. We appreciate each and every one of you. I want to especially thank Sandy Sue for the super chat and for sending those pictures of the Beatles album. That was great. And thank you everybody in the chat that came by. Really appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, we broadcast Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and one of the weekend days. So the next show will be Friday. It'll go on after Red Pill Show. I think he's on till like 11 Central Time, 10 or 11. So watch for us on Friday. You'll get the notification. Make sure you tell all your friends. Have your friends subscribe. We got to get our numbers up. We've been going down in numbers. Got to get those up. And I need your help. You're the only way I get the word out is through my friends here. So thank you very much. We appreciate you all. Looking forward to Friday's show. And remember, keep looking up. Keep looking up at the skies. Keep your phones ready to take that picture. And keep the faith and peace in.